least it says we're waiting for Facebook, but I have an indication up here that we're live. So I guess we're live. I'm probably not going to see some of your comments, but let's see. I'll throw it up here anyway. All right, guys. Hey, welcome to my Joe on the Mic Leader Talk show. I'm going to be sharing with you guys a little something, something right now. Today's broadcast is called um, Back in the Day. So we're going to be talking about some leadership stuff back in the day. I'll go into a little bit more, but I want to show you something real quick. Let me show you something real quick. All right. I'm going to share. All right. Hey, if you can see this, this is potentially going to be my podcast cover. It says podcast hosted by Joe Dietrich. Oh, and let me share something else with you guys. All right. My potential theme song music. Here we go. Let's see if you like it. Some of y'all might remember this song, and we appreciate you listening. And comment below if you remember what this song is. Just comment below on the chat. See if you know what it is. So this is Joe on the Mic, Leader Talk. We're going to be discussing self-development, leadership, spiritual and physical health. Hey, this is it. Joe on the Mic. How about that? And we'll have some guests along the way. But today, we're going to be talking about back in the day. Y'all heard that term before. Somebody said, well, back in the day, I used to do this and we walked through 5 feet of snow to get to school. Well, that's kind of what we're talking about, but in a different sort of sense. So the other day, oh, I don't want to hear the song again, but it's pretty cool. Gets me hyped up. So what I did the other day to talk about some leadership stuff, some leadership things that we should know. I asked a question to some Facebook groups and some people that I know via Facebook, and that there are other leaders in the industry, varying from wedding planners to people that conduct financial transactions, real estate agents, things like that. So the question was, if you could tell your younger self one leadership tip, what would it be? Well, I got a varying answers back, real good answers. And I've always told people when I was in a leadership position, I was like, look, the biggest thing that people want, in my opinion, and from what I gathered, is to be respected, and respected in some way, shape, or form as a person, as an individual, as a human being. And I can attribute it to a lot of things that are going on in the world right now that are not very favorable, to basically not treating people with some decency and respect. How many of y'all can agree with that? Go ahead and put it in the chat below. Give me your comments, give me your feedback. I appreciate it. But how many people can relate to that? So I got some varying answers back. So let me give you some. And some people like Leo, he says something along the lines of, the best leaders are the ones that listen most, not the ones who shout loudest. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. How many of you agree with that? And there's something to be said about that, like not being so loud, demanding, just being able to listen to folks, actually hearing some of their trials, tribulations up front. I mean, you don't have to go through a whole deep story, but at least listening to somebody first, seeing where they're coming from, and then as a leader, being able to give back some sort of value to that individual. And then George, he said, patience, persistence, and perseverance. If I would have known that back in the day, I think a lot of stuff would have worked itself out if I had a little more patience, persistence, and perseverance. So having patience with people can be difficult sometimes, because sometimes we are driven with our agenda. Can somebody give me an amen about that? Give me some comments. if you think you need some patience, persistence, and some perseverance, because there's a little bit of dance in that too, because patience and persistence and perseverance. We can have patience, be patient with others, have some persistence, which I believe is some gentle nudging, even for ourselves, and perseverance. So having perseverance, meaning having a little bit of resilience, having a little bit of a self gut check. That's that's for me what it says. And then going on to the next one, Elizabeth said, build up so much belief in how amazing you are and what you offer that you just can't wait to get out there and help and serve. That is a real good thing to know for your younger self, because we're talking about our younger self. And you know what? Some of these things we can apply right now. I just want to give you guys some value right now for this is like a pre podcast to my official podcast. I'm giving you just some pre stuff here to give you guys some of the value that's going to be happening. So I like what they said, build yourself up so much belief in how amazing and how much you can offer. And as young people, they need to believe that. You know, when I was younger, I needed to believe that I had something to offer. I had something to give. And you know, with this younger generation, the millennials, the Gen X Ys, or not Gen X, Generation Y, they have a lot to offer. You know, and us being, I want to say elder people, because I'm not an elder, I'm still young at heart, even though I'm in my 40s. We have a lot to give them, but they also have a lot to offer as well. And we need to be able to help them to build that belief within themselves to grow, to expand, to see how amazing they are inside and the gifts, skills, the talents, and abilities they have in what they who they are and what God has given them. So another one was Sincere. She said, "Do what's right even when it's not popular." That one's a big deal, especially when you're young, because you want to run with the crowd, you want to run with people that you like, and you don't always want to be the bump in the road. But you know what? If you don't believe in something, you're going to fall for anything. That's a real good quote. I can't remember who it's attributed to, but it's a good quote. You might want to jot that down. Okay. You definitely want to tell your younger self and the younger generation right now, especially if you have children, have people that you have influence over, which you know what? If you don't know you have influence over somebody, guess what? You do. You never know who's listening to you. You never know who's watching you. You have influence in some way, shape, or form. Hey, put some comments in there, share, throw some gifts in there, gifs, gifts, whatever those things are that have little pictures that move. Give me some in the comments below. All right, I appreciate that. And then another one, another person that gave me some feedback about what would you tell your younger self? One leadership tip: leading with transparency and commitment to excellence so that others may follow. That's a big deal. Because one of the things that I learned when I was younger, and I'm thankful for it now. Did I follow through with it? I don't know. But leading with transparency and commitment to excellence. Excellence doesn't mean perfect. All right. Just giving y'all some good stuff here. Like I said, you might want to jot it down, write it down. Excellence doesn't necessarily mean perfect. We like to do things perfect, but guess what? Do the best that you can. Don't always try to be perfect. And I know some of those perfectionists out there are probably pulling their hair out or whatever hair they got left. Guys, it doesn't need to be perfect the first time, but leading with transparency, saying, "Hey, I make mistakes, but I'm trying. I'm doing my best." Being honest with it, and having a commitment to continually grow and do the right thing and strive for excellence. There's nothing wrong with striving for it. Don't beat yourself up over it. Okay. The next one is Sean. He says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Leadership is about connecting. Yes, yes, yes. That is a very, very good one. And I appreciate those comments. Like I said, guys, keep on commenting below. Give me some likes. Give me some hearts. Give me some gifts down there. GIFs, whatever those things are. GIFs, gifts. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Leadership is about connecting. Guys, that's a big one. And it goes back to this is like the overarching theme of all these different comments. Leaders need to ensure that they communicate that they are there to lead for their organization, but also to lead their people. You're in that position not to lord over people. You're in that position to care for and manage your people. And people are easier to manage if they know that you care for their well-being. And that's another topic in and of itself. But you got to lead with the heart of caring and listening. You know, like I said in the beginning, the best leaders are the ones that listen most, and not necessarily shout the loudest. You know, somebody's shouting at you, how much you're going to be listening. Right? All right. Kathleen says, stop trying to prove your intelligence and strength. Start by proving your compassion and love. It goes hand in hand with all the stuff above. If you can see, there's a reoccurring theme here. You know, you gotta keep showing your people in the leadership position. And look, this leadership stuff that we're talking about, telling your younger self, this is gold. I wish I would have had some of this stuff, and I would have had the wherewithal, the understanding to go ahead and start applying it. So if you start applying it while you're young, yeah, you might make mistakes along the way, but guess what? You improve over time. It's like how they say wine improves over age. Apply these things to your life, write them down, replay this thing. Guys, continue to give me some comments below. I might not be able to see your comments right now because I'm zooming in from Zoom into Facebook, but keep your comments going and I'll reply later on. Now, David said something that kind of goes along with it, and I'm all about getting education and university and college and everything. I have a bachelor's degree. I went to various schools along the way. I am a true believer in professional and self-development. But David, he said, I would tell my younger self, avoid college, pick up a trade skill, save your money for biz ownership, and read all the self-development leadership books by those who've been in the trenches and succeeding with accomplishments. There's some value to that comment. But you know what? You can still, while you're going to school, while you're going to university or college, you could still try to do a job. Now, I wouldn't say a job. I would say start a business, work on a business. Check it out. I'm not going to mention any names or throw out people's names and stuff like that, but we've seen many people in our current history that first went to college and then they built connections while they were at college. They didn't necessarily finish college. Then they started a business and they're multimillionaires. I don't need to start naming names. Y'all can think of some right now or on some of their platforms. There's nothing bad about getting knowledge. It's how you use the knowledge. All right. Leadership is a big deal. And every situation that you go through in life, you need to learn something from it. And through some of my coachings and some of my trainings that I've have and I'm offering, I'll talk about later. But you guys have probably seen my posts. I'm offering my 3-day leadership accelerator and stuff like that. I go through some of these things in more detail. And look, it's some valuable training. I suggest you go for it. If you have any questions about any of my trainings or my coaching, go ahead and DM me. Just putting that out there. It doesn't hurt. It helps you. It gives you some direction, motivation. All right, let's continue. Evie said, do all the things you don't want to do to get the job done. Don't wait. Take no prisoners. Just do what it takes to succeed. Now, she says a lot more in there, but I get what she's saying. Have some boldness while you're younger to take leadership roles, to take responsibility, to step out and do something. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Fail forward. That's one of John Maxwell's saying. He wrote a book about that. He talks about failure is not failure until you stop. If you just stop trying, that's true failure. But look at all the greats that are out there: Abraham Lincoln, Benjamin Franklin, um, Damon Johns. Do you think if they stopped, we would have not even known their names? Damon has worldwide recognition. Started out from what he said selling T-shirts out the back of his trunk of his car. He said he had a lot of people making fun of him along the way, messing with him, trying to get in his head to discourage him because they weren't moving forward, trying to be successful. But he didn't let that discourage him. Okay, he had some bumps along the way. He tells the story, but he kept trying. Or Abraham Lincoln, he failed multiple times to win Senate bids, multiple times. Okay, multiple, but he continued, and guess what? Eventually, he became president. How many of you guys know Kentucky Fried Chicken? I'm not trying to make you guys hungry, but Colonel Sanders, that's what he called him, Colonel Sanders. He became successful for Kentucky Fried Chicken in his 60s. He was denied hundreds, I'd say, yeah, hundreds of times, if I remember correctly, his secret recipe. Can you imagine that? I can't imagine that, being denied over your same thing that you've been trying to accomplish hundreds of times, denied until he got that one yes. And the Kentucky Fried Chicken's all over the place. All right. So David says, okay, I already got David. Allen, he says it's all about self-esteem. What he would tell his self, that school doesn't treat you fair. Yeah, this is kind of getting a little negative. Well, school is school, right? Sometimes people in school are very negative. All right. Sometimes teachers can be negative. I remember Les Brown. He's a great motivational speaker, awesome individual. He talked about one of his teachers said that he was, lack of a better term, stupid, and he will not accomplish anything. He turned into one of the greatest motivational speakers of our time, making millions and millions and millions of dollars, influencing millions and millions and millions of people. And she said that he would not be able to accomplish anything because he had a speech impediment and that he was basically dumb. Don't let the naysayers, when you're younger, when you're going through school, or even in your social groups, tell you something negative about yourself and keep it in your mind. I have another video out there that's called the Tale of Two Roads. Check it out. It's out there. It's free. It was one of my first pre podcasts. Look, check it out. It's all about stacking negativity versus what we should do is stack positivity, positive mind, positive thoughts in our mind, remembering who we are in God, that we are wonderful, creative human beings because that's who God is. And he made us with talent, skills, and abilities to achieve great things. Okay. And you could probably see it here. For those of you guys that might be on the podcast, you won't see it, but it says, trust in yourself. Don't dwell on mistakes, but learn from them. Rock on with confidence. Walk into your fears. You will expand and grow. Going back to the fear of failure. Don't let fear and failure hinder you from achieving great things in life. You got to keep on moving forward, put the negativity behind you. And there's talking about, some language in there I didn't see, but you get the drift. All right. If I would be able to tell myself, I would tell myself to keep on believing in what you have inside of you. Back when I was younger, I didn't think very much of myself, but I'm so glad that my parents loved me. I'm so glad that I became a believer in Christ, because those things energized me to think outside the box. And then when I joined the military, I came across some great individuals and some not so great individuals. But because of my beliefs that were turning, that I got to learn from this, that other people fed into my life, telling me to do better. And I tell a story in the Tale of Two Roads in my previous broadcast about somebody who confronted me about my negativity. And I was glad that they did, You need those kind of people that want to feed into your life to tell you, hey, brother, sister, you need to change your mind because you're going down a road of destruction and you want to be on the road to life, which God wants us to have. So, hey, thank you for listening to me. I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to get off of here real soon and uh, uh, um, we'll go on to the next one. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed this broadcast. Give me some comments below. Give me some likes. Give me some feedback. Whether you believe in what I was talking about or you have some contrary beliefs about what you would tell your younger self in a leadership tip role. Hey, take care. God bless you guys. Peace.